record on this computer. Okay, hey everybody, it is Wednesday, March 7th, and we are here on the Tools of the Trade call talking about how to get beyond the family and friends circle. Because, you know, isn't that the key to long-term success in this business, right? When you think of a dartboard, in the center of it, that's like you or me. We're just that one little dot in the center. The next circle is still pretty small, right? That's our family and friends circle. The next circle is exponentially bigger, right? That's acquaintances. Then the next big circle, which is the biggest circle on the dartboard, that's the great beyond. That's what I call it, the great beyond. That's when we really have gotten beyond family and friends and even beyond acquaintances. When you get to this place in your business where when people say, oh, how do you know the host? I'm like, I met her at the last show, you know? And so that's when your business can really expand and really take off. So this doesn't usually happen for people in the first month or two of business. So if you're early on in your business and you're thinking, oh, I'm not there yet, don't worry. In fact, it takes a while to get there. So just hang in there and listen to the ideas that you get here tonight. Take notes on all of them, but then pick and choose the ones that you're going to take action on and know that you can go back to the others. All right? So if you want to get out of your family and friends circle quickly, like right now, like yesterday, all right, the first idea I have for you is to host a spring launch show of your own, like ASAP. Pick a date in the month of March. Now you might be thinking, hey, Karen, I just started like 6 weeks ago and I had a party of my own. Well, that was different. You just had people over and you just like had a launch show. But now you can invite them over to see the new product line. If you don't yet own the product line, but your director lives nearby or one of the directors in our co-op lives nearby, call that person and say, if I take really, really, really good care of your products, could I borrow them? And if so, what day could I borrow them? And plan your, you don't need to have every single spring product there to have a spring launch show. You just need a few of them. And you can, if you want, at this spring product show, you can take the home office videos and show them to people. So you talk a little bit about the products, and then you show them one of the 3-minute videos that they have. Not the long video that they had for us as consultants, but they have little snippets of each of the product groupings, and you can show those, okay? And if you're inviting a lot of the same people that you invited to your launch party and you're kind of new in business and you're like, gosh, they just came to a party like 6 weeks ago, you can personally talk to your family and friends and let them know that your goal of the party is not to sell to them again because they just bought, but your goal is to branch out. Explain to them you want to branch out because it is not your goal or your desire to sell to them for the rest of your life. I mean, anytime that they want Pampered Chef products, absolutely you're here for them, right? But you explain it's not your goal to sell to them every month. And so ask them, like, who do you know that might want to come and see what's new? And see if they can invite some coworkers that you've never met before, some neighbors of theirs that you've never met before. And you tell them that you're going to be raffling off the host benefits, okay? So this party can be what we call a mystery host party, where who knows who the host is going to be. And you tell them the way that they get their name in the drawing to receive all the host benefits is by bringing friends. Don't even give them a ticket for ordering. If they like the products, they're going to order anyway. The way to get the host benefits is by bringing friends to the party and tell them they'll get 3 tickets for every friend that they bring. So now the people you know are going to hopefully be bringing some people you don't know. And encourage them to invite more than one person, because what often happens is people get sidetracked. They get busy. So half of the friends won't be able to make it at the last minute. So encourage them to invite 2 or 3, okay? And then you do the party. And what happens is when people are encouraged to bring a friend, they think, gee, of everybody I know who loves Pampered Chef, or who needs Pampered Chef, or who loves to cook, or who loves to entertain, or who really needs a fun night out. And they handpick people who are more likely than the general population to need and want Pampered Chef products. So they're going to fill their room, not just with people you don't know, but people you don't know who are likely to need and want Pampered Chef products. Okay? It's huge. You get one booking out of that crowd, and it can really expand your business. I was about 3 months into my business, and I was kind of like, oh my gosh, who's going to be next? And a consultant in my team got sick, and she couldn't do the show, and nobody could do it at last minute but me. I went into this party, and because the people bonded with me, they wanted to book with me. I got 3 bookings from that one party. They were all outside of my family and friend circle. And
I can't pause this.
And huge.
I can't hear you.
Whoever's saying I can't pause this, if you could mute, because that's kind of yeah, one show outside your family and friends circle can be huge. Okay, what else can you do? And by the way, there's somebody there who's got a lot of background noise. If you could, I got to go down here and mute everybody. I don't want to mute myself because that won't help. Well, it might, but okay. So the next idea for getting bookings outside your family and friends is go out and about with survey slips. Okay, y'all got survey slips that came in your kit. If you want to get fancy, you can type up your own, but why reinvent the wheel? That's kind of crazy. So you go out in your own area. So you're going to get local leads because these are local stores and local businesses. You just go wherever you're going in your day. Okay, and wherever you're headed out, you tell people that you're a Pampered Chef consultant and that you're doing a raffle to celebrate the launch of our new spring product line, and that it's free to enter. When they say, sure, you know, say you're going to be raffling off something, you're not raffling off a product from the spring product line, you're just celebrating the launch of the spring product line, you're just raffling off a free gift, and it can be a season's best recipe booklet. Along with like a seasonal hand towel from the dollar store, okay? It doesn't have to be anything expensive, just, you know, whatever that you find that's kind of cool and seasonal. When they say they'd like to enter, you hand them a survey slip. And this is really important. Walk them through filling out the survey slip. So what I do is I usually use the home office ones and ask for address. And I tell them, as they're filling it out, I say, I don't need your address. I just need a phone number and an email address, okay? Because I'm going to email everybody who's filled this out to thank them and share a couple of recipes. And then I need your phone number because I'm going to call the winner, okay? And then as I see that they're done filling out those lines, I say, oh, by the way, there's a couple questions on there. Services I offer. Since I'm going to be emailing your recipe, if you're interested in any information about the services I offer, just check off what you might be interested in, and I'd be happy to forward you some information about that as well. So then they actually answer the question. If someone hands it back to me and the questions aren't answered, I just say, oh, do you mind just taking a minute just to answer the questions? If you check off no, I'll only contact you to send you the thank you recipes for filling it out. And of course, I'll contact you if you win. But if you can just answer the questions, it's okay to say no, but it's just good communication. All right. Make it a goal to get at least 10 slips filled out. Okay. Now, filled out in a short period of time so you can do the drawing. But know that you can do this over and over and over again. So some of the places I went when I was new, I went to my bank. I used to go to the drive up, but for this, I walked in. Now, like, we all make our deposits on our phone a lot of the time, but you know what? Go to the bank. Go into the bank. Have every teller fill one out. When I went in there, one teller was filling it out, but there were 2 others, and I go, you guys don't have to miss out because there was nobody in line. This is Goffstown. I went like at a time when nobody else was there. You guys don't have to miss out. You can fill out slips too. I went to my hair salon. Now, the person who does my hair, she's self-employed, you know, right? These people who work at hair salons, if they don't have clients, they don't get paid. They have to build a client base just like we do. And so they kind of have compassion for what we're doing. They can kind of feel what we're going through. So I went to my hair salon and I told the person who did my hair that I was given this challenge and I wanted to try to get 10 slips filled out. And she's like, oh, sure. So I said, great, you'll fill one out? She goes, what about the rest of these people? And I said, I've never met them. She grabbed the slips out of my hand and went around to everybody in the salon, handing them these slips. Hey, she's got to get 10 of these filled out. Come on, just fill it out. She went up to the person who was getting a manicure. This person could clearly not fill one out. And she's like, okay, Sue, come on. Do you want information about having a party? How about having a Pampered Chef business? I think you'd be great at this. It was hysterical. She got everybody in the place to fill one of these out. P.S. She had a party. But so did one other person that she got to fill out a slip. A person who was just getting her hair done by a different person in the salon. This is a person I never would have had a connection with before. And the bookings that came from those, oh my goodness, amazing. I also went to my realtor's office. We have 2 realtors' offices here in town. I went into both of them to see if they'd fill out slips and then to tell them, by the way, if you guys want to have parties, that's great. Or if you just want to do a combined catalog show to get your closing gifts. Real estate market is hot right now. When they close on a home, they usually leave a gift. The realtor does, because they've just made a big, huge commission. And oftentimes it's something for the kitchen. And Pampered Chef gifts, obviously, are perfect for that. So here's my list. You can go into your bank. You can go to waitresses or waiters of a place that you often go to. People at your gym or your yoga studio. People at your full-time employment place, especially the people you don't work in very close contact with, but the people that you see to wave at. Again, you're trying to get out of that immediate family and friends circle. People at your doctor's office or your dentist's office or your pediatrician's office. If you have young children who go to daycare, other parents at the daycare center. If you have kids that are a little bit older and they're involved in sports, other parents on the sports team or the karate studio. Have your significant other, your spouse, if you have one, take them to work and people fill them out there. If he's like, I don't want to do that, write a little note with a catalog and the stack of forms and have him leave them there. Okay, kind of a note of explanation so that they know that they can fill these out and get their names in a drawing. And just have them in your bag when you're going out. Think of other places wherever you're going. So there, that's idea number 2. Idea number 3, offer a drawing to your Facebook customer group. If you have a Facebook customer group, it probably is, and you're new in the business, it's probably full of people that you already know. If you don't yet have one because you're that new in business, go to YouTube and Google Karen Batty and customer group, and you'll see a 30-minute little training video about how to start one of these for yourself. You can do that. If you haven't yet, I see Jennifer is on here. Jennifer, you're so new. Don't worry about that for a couple of weeks, but know that it's there when you need it, okay? So you go to your Facebook group and you say that you're running a special for the next 48 hours and that everybody who's in the group is going to get 1 ticket for every friend that they add to the group in the next 48 hours. Also, don't just post, because we know that a post will only show up in maybe 10% of the people's news feeds. And then only 10% of those people that have it in their newsfeed are actually going to get on and scroll through enough to see it. Okay, so if you want people to really see it, PM them or tag them under the post. Okay, and so every time somebody's added, when you go, you'll see the numbers tick up. Like, oh, I only have 43 people, and now I have 46. Oh my goodness! Go under members, and you'll see the new people, and it'll say added by, so you'll know who added them, so you know who to give credit to. And then you can go and give them credit on the Facebook group. Wow, Lynn, thanks for adding your friend Sue. Welcome to the group. And then this will show up even in more people's news feeds, because it'll just increase the number of people who see it. And they'll be like, oh, Lynn added Sue, and she's getting a ticket. A ticket for what? Because you say, wow, good for you, Lynn, another ticket into the drawing for our freebie. And you're like, people then see that in their newsfeed, and then they go in and they check out what's going on, and they start adding their friends. Okay, again, this doesn't have to be anything huge that you're giving away. Go to the dollar store. I just went and picked up all kinds of hand towels that are Easter related and St. Patrick's Day related. You can, and then put that along with the Season's Best Recipe booklet, because it's easy to mail. It's not super expensive, but it's just kind of fun. And then all of these new people will be in your Facebook group. So you're going to be sharing cooking tips, recipes, and of course, links to your website with outlet alert updates, as well as, oh, wow, upcoming specials if they decide to have a party of their own. Ooh, and a link to our Think About It group if they want to join your team. Okay. The other thing is, go out one day and shop for leads. This isn't a day where you have to get your grocery shopping done. This is a day where you're like, okay, I could stay at home, but you know what? I'm going to go out specifically to shop for Pampered Chef leads. If I get anything else done in the meantime, great, but if I don't, that's okay too. All right? And when you do, be a walking billboard. And what I mean by that is, if you have a Pampered Chef catalog tote, bring it. And in the front of it has that clear pocket for your catalog. If you're thinking, I don't have one of those yet, well, if you've been in business long enough to earn a little $1,000 pin for having a kilo show, or a qualification pin that has a little PC on it, go ahead and put that on to whatever you're wearing. But also have a catalog, and just have it sort of like, oh, I just happen to be carrying this catalog along with a few other things, and the front of the catalog happens to be facing out, even though it's upside down to me, and all of a sudden somebody looks and goes, oh, Pampered Chef, and you're like, oh yeah, Pampered Chef. You know, but you're shopping for leads. So I had a consultant. She went into Home Depot, went into the kitchen area of Home Depot, and was pretending to just be looking for stuff. She was like, hey, someday I might redo my kitchen and I'll pick out some tile. And while she was there, she was chatting with other people and got leads, because these people, a lot of them were actually redoing their kitchen. And wow, what a better way to celebrate, you know, redoing your kitchen than afterwards, when it's done, to have a Pampered Chef party. And you don't just have to do that in Home Depot. It could be Bed Bath & Beyond, Macy's, any of these stores that have a kitchen area. Or go into any store. You could just go into Kohl's and ask questions of the people who are working there. Act like you need help with something. If you're looking at a shirt, just say, do you have this in a different size? And see if they're helpful. See if they're pleasant. And if they are, isn't that a person you might want to do business with? If they're looking for additional income, or see if they want to have a party of their own. Okay? Do whatever you can to get the words Pampered Chef out of your mouth. If you're looking for a shirt, you know, I often will say, so I'm looking, does this come in like a 3/4 length sleeve? Because I'm a Pampered Chef consultant. I'm always looking for things that will keep me warm but won't get in the food. So it's not in their face about Pampered Chef, but they hear Pampered Chef. And what usually happens is they find me, they go, oh, you'll need this over here. We got a sweater just for you. You can zhuzh it up really easily. Oh, and by the way, Pampered Chef, I love Pampered Chef. And then I have my survey slips always with me. And I say, oh, wow, really? When's the last time you've been to a show? Oh, I haven't been in a couple years. Oh, you're kidding me. And they say, yeah, but I own everything. I say, you own everything? How are you enjoying your rock crock? And then you know what they say? They go, because they haven't been to a show in a couple of years, and they go, rock crock? What's a rock crock? And I go, oh, come on, you said you owned everything. You don't own the rock crock? Girl, I got to, you know what? What's your email address? Because I got to send you information about rock crock. If you say you own everything and you don't own this, you own nothing from Pampered Chef. And then they're like, oh, okay. And they fill out the slip and give me their email address. Okay, so just try to get the words Pampered Chef out of your mouth. And then ask, when's the last time you've seen a catalog or been to a show? And if it's been more than a year or so, believe me, there's things that they don't own. If they say they own everything, oh my gosh, you do? How are you loving that new stainless cookware that is nonstick? You know nobody owns that yet, right? Except for us. right? So, okay. The other thing you can do, make contacts for fundraisers, okay? You can take maybe 10 minutes a week and contact local churches, daycare centers, schools, groups within the schools. I've never landed a school-wide fundraiser, but I've landed many smaller fundraisers within the school. Like, the cheer team made it into a competition. They have to travel to Florida and they need some money for it. Or the music department is going to Europe and they need money for that. Or the football team needs new uniforms and they need money for that. Even those so-called smaller fundraisers are usually 2 to 3 times the size of an average cooking show. So make some outgoing calls. If you call the school, say, are you guys looking for a fundraiser, or is there a group within the school that might be looking for a fundraiser? Call the PTO of the school, okay? Ask them who might be looking for a fundraiser. If you know anybody who's involved in Boys and Girl Scouts, call them. Hey, do you know anybody who might be looking for a fundraiser? Scroll through Facebook and see who's posting about GoFundMe pages, or who's doing a walk or a run for a cause. You could contact them and say, are you looking to raise some money? I think I can help. Would you like to talk? Okay. Tell them you're a consultant with the Pampered Chef and wondering if you'd like to hear about fundraising opportunities that are available. Okay. The other way to get shows outside of your family and friends circle is to host coach like a mad woman with the parties that are already on the books. Maybe you've got a party with your sister, but guess what? At my sister's party, half of the people there were people I'd never met before. Because I did a pretty good job of host coaching, I told her, please don't fill with family and friends. Because I'm not going to get any bookings outside of that group. I don't want to sell to you guys forever. You guys don't need that much Pampered Chef stuff. You hate to cook anyway. But please invite some of your coworkers, invite some of your kids' parents, friends that I don't know. Please. I'm going to be nervous. And you know what she said to me? I wasn't going to do that because I thought you'd be too nervous. I said, I am going to be nervous no matter what. So I better that I'm nervous in front of a big group than a small group, and a big group that I might actually get bookings from. Because guess what? If they don't book, I'm never going to see them again anyway. So who cares? But what happened is I got 3 bookings at that party, and one was with my sister, a different sister, and then the other 2 were from people I'd never met before. So host coach, host coach. I should have put this at the top of the list because this is the simplest thing that we can all do from the get-go to help us get out of our family and friends circle. Okay, customer care calls. If you've been in business more than 3 weeks, you can do this. Have you really talked to every single customer who's ever purchased from you? Maybe you know all your hosts. Maybe all your hosts are family and friends. But what about every single customer that was at that party? Maybe they came to a party 6 or 8 weeks ago, but guess what? It's now 2 months later. And maybe at the time they were going through a hard time. They had the flu. It was a busy time at work and they couldn't think about hosting. But if you call them now to say, hey, I'm just calling to make sure you're enjoying your products and that they're working well for you, they're holding up well. And if they are, great, I'm so glad to hear that. And hey, while I have you on the phone, do you want to hear about some specials that Pampered Chef is offering now? Okay, and if so, tell them about the upcoming specials and see if they're interested. 1 out of every 6 to 8 will say yes, okay? But if you only talk to 2, you're probably not gonna get any yeses. If you don't make any calls, you won't get any yeses. So let the no thank yous run over you. It's just like a waitress saying, would you like ketchup with your fries? You're allowed to say no to ketchup and it's not a personal assault. They're still gonna ask the next person if they'd like ketchup, right? Because they wanna make sure everybody wants ketchup, gets ketchup. Our job is to find out who wants the ketchup, who wants the party. That's all we're doing. We're offering a party to get free and discounted products. If they say no, it's not a personal thing. It's just like, no thanks, I'm not a ketchup person. Or no thanks, I don't want ketchup now, okay? But customer care calls. Every single customer who's purchased from you deserves to hear from you to make sure they're enjoying their products and to see if they'd like to hear about upcoming specials. And guess what? If that party was like your first or second party, and since that time you've established a Facebook customer group, guess what? Even if they say, no thanks, they're not ready for a party right now, you can say, well, you know what? Another thing is I have established a group for my customers on Facebook. It's for people who, want to be up to date on all things Pampered Chef, specials, recipes, cooking tips, as well as any specials and also outlet alert updates and exclusive giveaways that I do about once a quarter. Would you like to be added to that? A lot of people will say yes to that. And then they're in your group. So guess what? If all of a sudden they change their mind and now's a good time for a show, you'll hear about it. All right. Another thing is change up your routine so you see new people. If you go to the gym 3 times a week at a certain time, go to the gym at a different time. You will see a whole different group of people. If you usually go to the bank on a certain day of the week at a certain time, you see the same tellers. Go a different day at a different time. Okay? If you go to church but you never stay for the coffee hour, stay for the coffee hour. If you go to a yoga studio, go to a different class. If you go to a gym and you're always going to this one Zumba class, take a different class. Wear something that says Pampered Chef. Try to get the words Pampered Chef out of your mouth. Okay? All right. And then ask people for referrals. Share that you're absolutely loving Pampered Chef, but you really need to expand beyond family and friends so that you can get to the great beyond. And you're looking for referrals. And see if they know anybody who needs and wants free and discounted products. You might even consider offering a referral bonus. Okay, so in wrapping up, getting out of your friends and your family and friends circle can take a little time. And doing one idea once is probably not going to get you there. So my suggestion is schedule a little time every week based on how much time you've got to put into your business and schedule one of these activities. And it can be certain activities based on what speaks to you and what you would enjoy versus what your life will allow. And keep in mind, 1 out of 8 to 6 that we talk to about hosting will likely say yes in the time frame that we want. So keep in mind, it's a numbers game. Most people in this business who don't achieve their goals, it's not because they're doing anything wrong. It's because they're not doing enough things that are right. You can do everything right, but if you're only reaching out to 3 people exactly as you should, you're probably not going to get the results that you want. So the goal is just keep doing it. It's a cumulative effect of that outreach that is going to get you to where you want to be. You need to talk to enough people to tip the scales in your favor. So the best thing is to make outreach a habit. Schedule little pockets of time, whether it's online, looking through Facebook, whether it's out and about, whatever. Schedule the pockets of time, take the actions. Keep track of how many people you actually talk to so you don't get discouraged if you get a bunch of no's. Because again, only 1 out of 6 is likely to say yes. So have that grit, have that determination, and talk to your director. If you get a little like, oh, I tried this and I was so sure this person was going to book, talk to your director, okay? Keep in touch. We are here to help. But you guys, you can do this. All it takes is one really good show outside of your family and friends circle, and it blows open this whole amazing world, all right? So stick with it. All right, I'm going to